Every week, they look at the tech and business world and turn let's take this offline into an episode. Updates, reviews, and the occasional interviews. Sounds smart? It's not. We just said it with conviction. A lot of smart people already do this. But these guys have a lot of opinions and barely any filters, which maybe should concern you, or not. They seem nice. Anyway, this series comes from people who probably shouldn't be doing more streams, or at the very least, should have left some of their thoughts in a Slack thread. Unread by everyone. And now, this is Rob and Sudge asking for trouble!
Every time.
Absolutely love that, Sajid. That is never getting old.
Hey everybody, welcome, good morning. Thank you for joining Asking for Trouble. We're just 2 weeks away from Team. Each day I see some messages in the Slack thread that makes me think I'm not ready for this. And then I'm like, maybe I never am. So it's okay. We're never ready for this stream, Rob. So it's all right, right?
I did put about 5 minutes of thought into it as I was going to sleep last night. So
Nice.
I did
So
some.
you have a 5-minute head start on me, but that's okay. But I'm very excited about today because I have, finally got a very special person to join us today. Let me add her to the stream. Some of you might have seen me post about her last year when I came back from Team EU. Please welcome Alison Blazer from the Atlassian Global Events Team.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Folks, Alison is part of the team which puts the show together for all of us. So it was quite, important for us to have somebody who could tell us what happens behind the scenes while we still talk about, hey, what to look out for, what sessions to look, what booths to visit, and a bunch of other things that Rob and I are planning. We thought it will be an awesome idea for you guys to meet Alison and hear a little bit from her point of view how these things are organized, because each year we hear, oh, this changed, or that was good, or this is better. But like, how are these things sorted out, organized, and how long do these events actually take, to plan, to put it together, and how many sleepless nights would that be? And how long would Alison need to be away from a keyboard after this? All of those questions today. Welcome, Alison.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. A great intro.
I never saw it. The first time I saw it was when the first episode dropped. And Sajid's kind of like, I hope you like it. And he hit play.
I mean, it's definitely attention grabbing. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Awesome. So, Rob, what's the plan today? You have a 5-minute head start, so why don't you take it up?
I do have a 5-minute head start. I was thinking through all of the sessions. And like last week, we spoke about what Tuesday sessions are we excited about. So I've memorized the whole agenda. So I was going through it in my head just to figure, the whole thing.
Nice.
I then forgot about it, but it was in there for a minute. But I picked out a couple of sessions that looked interesting to me. So if you want, we can start there, or we can continue with our very well-prepared discourse.
No, let's do that. Let's do at least 10 minutes of session. And then the last 20 minutes, I actually want to keep talking more about the event itself. And, I know I have a lot of questions. I'm sure you have too. People in the chat, we have like almost 25 people on with us right now. If you have any questions for Alison, please feel free to write them in the chat as well. Rob, let's start with your top 5 picks for Wednesday.
All right, my top 5.
And Alison, you don't have to stay silent. If you don't like something, if you like something, feel free to just. This is just think of people sitting in a coffee shop and talking. That's what this is.
All right, I'll zoom this in a little. There we go. I picked on this one. So this is Wednesday, 4:30 in the hall A. How Trello's head of marketing uses, I assume it is Trello in this case. They don't specify, so.
Imagine if they open it and it's just talking about Jira or JPD for words.
I hope Lindsay trolls us. That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh. Brittany would have a heart attack.
I picked this because I have Trello and I've used it in some ways, and I'm awful at using Trello. This is just a weakness of Rob. I remember even like growing up, keeping track of my homework, I would have a folded up bit of paper in my pocket that would then go through the washing machine. So I still have not cracked for Rob how to keep track of things. And we can see Sarah Schneider's going to be there. So maybe Sarah, you can give us an after action report if I can't make this one. But I'm very curious how someone who works at Trello uses Trello, so I can learn from them and use that because I want to get better at these things. And I feel like I don't need them, but I really do. There's stuff I drop all the time. So that's why I picked on this one. Also because Trello, and we want to give some love to Trello.
Of course. That's a great pick because it actually not just talks about Trello, but talks about how Trello integrates with the bigger brothers and sisters in the Atlassian ecosystem and integrates and brings stuff over. And I'm not very fluent in using Robo inside Trello. I don't know how much capabilities those have been deployed there right now, but it's interesting to hear what Lindsay would talk about that in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and to your point too, the integrations, because I use all these other systems, but I still treat Trello as its own separate thing. Again, just a weakness in my own habit. And I know people who use it very successfully, and I want to be more like them and less like me sometimes. At least as it comes to Trello. All right, second session. Assemble your human AI. Should we just abbreviate that HAI? H-A-I, hi. You heard it here, folks. It's HAI.
Hey.
Assemble your HAI customer support dream team with customer service management. So this is CSM. I'm interested in this. I have a learning course on Jira Service Management, and it mentions a feature called customers and entitlements. And I had students complaining, Rob, that tab doesn't exist anymore. I was like, what are you talking about? It's right there. Oh, it's gone. Why is it gone? And when I finally found out, I spoke to Doro, this person here, like they are starting to build out CSM, which is this product for external customer support. And they are, I'll use the term stealing, borrowing, moving features out of JSM.
Inspired.
Yeah. No, they're just lifting and shifting. They're not even.
Oh, they're actually, yeah, that's right.
So this is what my students were complaining about. The feature is missing. It's gone in JSM, but it's now in CSM. So I want to hear, like, how is this product positioned? How will teams be able to transition or use both of them? And how do teams decide which one do we use? So that's why this one jumped out. This product, I've seen demos of this, and I've again spoken to Doro, very AI forward. They had a demo in Barcelona, and the intention here is support at scale. Not just hundreds of people, but thousands, tens of thousands, the whole world, who knows? So I'm very curious how that works, just to see it from the person who helped build it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great insight. I'm less hands-on with these tools and have heard great things about CSM, but haven't seen it in practice. Doro, though, I'm glad you've talked to her. She's, in my opinion, an incredible speaker. Whether it's a long form hands-on workshop or even a quick 15-minute theater session. She's a really low maintenance speaker when it comes to my job, and we love that. We really love that.
I can help change that. If you need some balance, you need a high maintenance diva. Brigitte and I know we'll be happy to help out.
Yeah, Rob has 3 sessions. Like, of course, he can make one of them all about just the lighting that's falling on his face.
Look, I'm the talent. This is unacceptable.
Exactly. I mean, Sajid showed up to Team Europe with like an entourage, essentially. He came prepared with his own support staff. So I know the divas in you both.
So, G, we've got your "Are You Smarter Than a Jira" app, and we should do that.
Yeah,
you should roll up with your posse to your session. All right. Third session from Rob, AI native lessons from HR, finance, legal, security. I like this one because my professional background before I became a full-time content creator, very clear, I'm not an influencer, I'm a content creator. I'll talk more about that later sometime, is working with non-tech teams. So HR, finance, legal, and security. So like these are the teams I worked with. I was the product manager, product owner, whatever you want to call it, and they would constantly fight for resources and struggle with technical tools because, HR is a cost center. Companies don't get built to do HR. They get built to build Rovo. They get built to make skyscrapers. But you still have all of these people who are super smart and talented and want to do their job well, need tools like Rovo and AI. So to get to hear how Atlassians, head of HRBPs, your CISO, your CAO, your cow, I'll workshop that one. Your deputy counsel, like how do these executives use it and how do they help their teams leverage technical tools? To me, it'll be very interesting because it's not coming from the product manager, the engineering lead, etc. It's like, how do folks who don't typically get this information use it? I will point out this one's curated for enterprise leadership, but I still think there'll be a lot of good insights at that level. And then how do we trickle that down to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, I usually personally read through all of the open text feedback that comes from your session surveys after any team, after any Atlassian global event, honestly. So, whether you said the room was too hot during the session or you loved someone's insights, I've read the feedback. And something we've consistently found, at least in my time at Atlassian, is people want to hear about Atlassian on Atlassian stories. How are Atlassians using their own products to take things inside the walls of Atlassian to the next level? And yeah, certainly the non-technical side of this one, we think will appeal to folks. And just pointing out that it has an on-demand lozenge at the top. So this one will be available on the on-demand platform following the event. That's going to be visible. We actually have digital signs outside of all the session rooms this year and theaters. So you'll be able to see which ones will be on demand and therefore, spend time where you want to with that information on site.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, a light bulb just went off in my head. I'll keep my thoughts to myself, but I might check with you later, Alison, about something. All right. I have a lot of various experimental projects going on at Team. Sajit knows about most, but not all of them. I might have just added another one. Anyway, data is a team sport. I just like the name. I do a lot of training on Rovo, and a lot of people ask me, Rob, the results Rovo give me, like the data, like the results aren't that good. And I go, what do you mean not good? Well, I go to the Confluence page and it's out of date. I'm like, yeah, that's because you have bad data.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the fault of Rovo. Like, you said, go find me this book, and it found the book, but you ripped half the pages out. Like,
Exactly.
So, like, how enterprise AI wins or loses on shared context, and how does the data that it is feeding into the AI support you, and its importance is big. I tell folks, as you use tools like Rovo or more powerful search, you're going to find things. The things you find might not look the best, but they are opportunities to improve. And so this to me is a great reminder of like using AI to help expose those gaps to find that weakness will cause some pain, but in the long term, it's good.
Yes, and tightening up the prompts you put into Rovo, right? I've learned that because it'll find Confluence pages from, before I was working at Atlassian, it's not helpful. Or using those for context, but not for a source of truth, and just really being specific with your ask. But yeah, everyone says what you get out of it is only as good as the data you put into it. So
there's a phrase I learned early in tech called GIGO, which I learned is garbage in, garbage out. It applies to every system. So if you have bad input, you have bad output. A better version I've heard is good in, good out. So I'm trying to be more positive. But if we feed systems good input, we get a good output. So there's that.
Nice.
And number 5 for me is the strategy collection. Excuse me. I picked this one because I know focus and goals exist, and that's about it. And so I want to see how they ladder in and connected different things. I've done some short sessions on things like Jira Align, but again, this is a blind spot to me. So hearing how a large company, I've heard Accenture is big, maybe. Is it? To learn how they use it, especially at the leadership strategic level, I think will be interesting. And just help me understand, where does it fit into someone's stack and what's it appropriate for?
Wonderful. Yeah, Accenture is actually one of the event sponsors, but this is actually not a sponsored session. This is, they were picked organically in addition to having some sponsored sessions, just because of the value of their story. And so they're presenting with strategy collection. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Sajit, your turn to get thrown under the bus. What do you got?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do all five because some of your sessions sound really nice and mine don't. So I will probably
What?
not go into all five. But there is one session that I definitely want to pick and talk about. So the Accenture one and the other one, we kind of had an overlap. It was in my top seven. I picked seven. But there is one session that I definitely want to talk about, and let me share my screen and show you that. It's a
Sajit,
customer session. Sorry, go ahead.
you keep changing the rules. Last week you said I couldn't pick my sessions. 3 of my 5 were my 3. And now you're saying you picked 7. So what is it?
No. So only gonna talk about the one because So for me, and a lot of my friends know this, I prefer to always go to customer sessions because I feel like I can always stop an Atlassian or meet an Atlassian at other places where I have access to them. But these customer stories are what I will not get to hear. So I would rather talk to them or hear them when they are speaking in their specific scenario. So this one definitely caught my eye. It's about how Axel Springer uses RoboDev, and they are actually doing so. Whenever I see a word like this, it always catches my eye, and they are very publicly calling out that they save 3 hours per week on code reviews by their developers. So this means an actual impact has happened in their team, and after that they submitted a session, and then it got selected. So I want to see what happened, and I'll probably try to find this person and speak to them directly, because that's when I think I have some questions around RoboDev because I had just started playing it with it, and I'm thinking this is definitely one of my top scale questions. More of it because I am before Atlassian a project management person, and accelerating the SDLC is a term I've been using for the last 15 years, right? Like accelerating the SDLC and you can just fill that sentence with whatever you want. So I want to see, like, this is the first time I'm seeing this context or this sentence come up with Rovo Dev, not just Rovo. They're specifically calling out Rovo Dev. So this is not about finding information. This is about building and shipping something new. So that is why I'm very interested about this session.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, because RoboDev to me, like, I work next to and around developers. I can look at code and pull it apart if I really concentrate hard and my eyes go crossed. And I know RoboDev exists, but I know nothing about it or how it's used. So this would be another good thing to learn about. Just how do they practically apply this thing that exists?
Yeah. Right. And I like that they've used this category starting this year. I don't think it was there earlier, which was intended audience of builders. Otherwise, it was always intermediate, advanced, enterprise, those kind of things. But it says builders, which makes me like think a little like, okay, it's changing. Like, it's changing. For years, I remember standing at the community booth and just having a conversation with Atlassian saying that we've gone very generic. We've gone very PPT friendly. We've gone very, hey, buy my product friendly at Team, rather than for people who are coming to learn something new or hear something new. And adding this category, I feel like Atlassian has heard that and bringing those kind of sessions into the play.
So would you say, Sajit, that you personally have changed the track of Team?
Just a tiny bit more importance to myself than I would like to give, just a tiny bit, but yeah. No, so what I would say is, like, we were on a completely different track. So I remember 2 years back, me, Steph, and a bunch of other senior community champions were just starting to have a conversation, and we were saying, why don't we do a Jira admins therapy hour? So, like, just everybody come sit in a circle and cry. Yeah, kind of like a support group, official support group, happens twice in a year. Come hold hands and just cry when somebody deleted a custom field, or a new Jira admin did something that took days to revert. Oh man, that was fun. But like, this makes me very happy. Yes, there are a bunch of other sessions which I really like, but like sessions like this, building AI native teams with Robo, I feel like we've more or less heard in the last 6 months, 8 months. So I'm more focusing. My first filter is look for customers who are presenting, or customers and Atlassians together. So there is one session from Expedia and Atlassian together, which is really nice, which is gut feel to confident strategic delivery with strategy collection. Strategy collection is not something that I myself have played out a lot. So I'm interested to see what are the, ways in which they have used talent specifically, because that's a black box. I've not looked at it, not seen it, I've not played with it. I have no idea.
My friend, you have plenty of talent.
Yeah,
Don't
but
sell
I'm not
yourself short.
nice. But what I lack is focus.
That's true. And I'm not aligned. So we should really get on this.
Exactly. Anyways, yeah, so that's the idea. So I want to hear how these guys are doing it. And hopefully, like, we would hear more about one Atlassian instance getting talent, because I've not seen it, playing it, and I want to check more on that. And then I think Wednesday is my go-to session. I picked 7 sessions, but I probably will go into 2 or 3 max, and I will attend as many brain dates as I can, because Wednesday is the date that I'm thinking that more brain dates, because Tuesday and Thursday we would have other things, but Wednesday is more.
I saw this amazing brain date about Dungeon Crawler Carl put on by this very intelligent, good-looking human.
What's his name?
Are you hosting a brain date?
Yeah, I didn't say that. If you're asking, yes, I am.
Nice.
Oh.
There's an actual D&D game that Rob is hosting at Team.
There is.
Wow.
It's not Dungeons and Dragons, though. It's a different system, but Thursday morning
Dungeons
at
and
9 a.m.
Migrations.
Dungeons and Migrations, yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Love that.
Okay, so those are the sessions that we have on our list for Wednesday. Next week we'll talk more about Thursday and a bunch of other stuff, because it's the week before Teams. But that brings us to Alison. Let's put the spotlight on Alison, Rob. And so I'll start with the first question, Alison. Did you start planning after Team 25 ended, or even earlier?
After Team 25 ended, I mean, now that, well, we knew we were going to be at the ACC again for Team 26, so that piece of planning was done. But now that we have Team Europe, right, we're kind of, the cycle's changing from just our one annual user conference to kind of this every 6-month flow. So we are already very deep into planning for Team Europe. So there's quite a bit of overlap there nowadays. And so, yeah, it feels like we are always planning for at least one team.
I guess, like, to your point, there's now 2, right? There's Europe and North America. How much of the planning is, maybe the wrong term, cut and paste? Like, we know we're going to have 3 keynotes. We know we're going to have this amazing brain date by this Rob guy and all this other stuff. Like, what percentage of the work is fairly similar and still requiring thought and planning, and how much of it is unique to either site?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it from a logistics perspective, so, I sit on the global events team, and a lot of my colleagues are event managers. And so they help, put on all of the Atlassian global events from Team on Tour, Atlas Camp, Team. And I think logistically, a lot of the framework can be the same, but a lot of it is venue dependent, right? You're always going to work with it. If you're working with a new venue, you have to draw out new floor plans. You have to come up with how you're going to utilize that space for the very first time. So that, I think, is the biggest hurdle if you're switching locations in between a couple of events. And then I sit on the content team within global events, and ours is pretty much, I would say, 95% different by the time we get to Europe, because we try to welcome EMEA-based Atlassians to speak, a lot of EMEA and APAC-based customers and partners. And 6 months later, the announcements coming out of Atlassian are different. So, we have, for Team 26, we have over 120 sessions. Over 100 of them are unique. And, I don't think any of those, just cut and paste wise, are going to make their way to Team Europe in the fall. So,
Oh,
So
Sajia.
one brain date at least we can cancel. That's okay. That's good. That's good.
Well, I was also going to say, then they can't be doing Are You Smarter Than a Jira admin in Europe? So
Yeah, I think we've done it thrice. This is the third time we're doing it. I think I'm good.
Yes. No, we have to fill Sajid's room. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to point out, Sajid, was I don't know if you've played around with this new filter on the session catalog. It's brand new this year of customer delivered versus Atlassian delivered. So you can use that to find the sessions that you were talking about prioritizing. And sessions that are co-delivered, have a customer and an Atlassian, they are marked with both. So I was really excited about the addition of that tag. I wanted to mention a session that happens on Tuesday. It's the first session to kick off the Expo Theaters on Tuesday for folks that, it's honestly helpful even if you have been to Team before, or if it's your first Team or first Atlassian event ever. It's a half-hour theater, so longer than the average theater, but it's just kind of, the person delivering that is Holly Venable. She's on the Global Events Team, and she knows everything that's going on over the whole week at Team, and is going to set people up for success, just how to leverage the mobile app. Some people, don't know about brain dates. People don't know you can use the app to network with folks. Lots going on. So she is always in the know about maybe some hidden activations that you might not stumble across if you're busy going from one session to the next.
Nice.
We did that. There was one of those in Barcelona, I believe, too. And that one, it was in an open theater and just this crowd formed. It was great to see everyone kind of swarming onto it.
That is what we expect again. Yeah, it's the only thing happening. It's at 3:15 right as the expo opens on Tuesday. And it is going to be co-presented with a community champion as well. So.
Oh, good. I didn't see that listed, and I was a little bit worried because I know last time in Barcelona we grabbed someone as well.
Yeah,
it was good to have an Atlassian and a champion to give both perspectives, which was great.
Definitely.
Nice. It doesn't say that on the agenda itself.
Yeah, not quite yet. Part of my job, she needs to sign the speaker release form. And then, as you know, I'll press publish and she'll be right up on the website. So, that's, a lot of what my team does is it is content strategy earlier on, and then all of the session and speaker management, right? So even the difficult ones like these two, we have to manage on site somehow. But yeah, I really love what I do. This time around, I'm in charge of all breakouts and theaters. So I'm personally in charge of 63 sessions ahead of Team. Wow. And then I also manage the speaker ready room. So all the plans that go into it to make sure it's going to be, a one-stop shop for everything our speakers need on site and be set up with a really efficient flow, but then also managing it on site. And it's something I really enjoy.
We get a green room?
Yeah, you have a speaker ready room, of course.
What? Is it catered?
There is food there, yes, Rob.
We had it last year also, Rob.
We did?
Yeah, I did.
It's going to be even bigger and better, I would say. We got even incrementally better for Team Europe, and then this time as well. I'm worried about Sajid hanging out in there and just poaching every customer speaker, being like, I've been looking for you, trying to get you one-on-one.
Of course, that's the plan. But so just one follow-up question on that, Alison. So does the content team work with Atlassians and the senior leadership to define and design the keynotes? Because keynotes is one of my all-time favorite things. Or is keynotes separated out from the sessions?
Yeah, the keynotes, they're not... That's kind of a difficult question. They definitely set the tone at the very top of the content and it trickles down, right? So our solution keynotes this time, which if you've been to Team before, you might remember these as super sessions. They're kind of a double click down into the different product areas, the different collections. And that can only really be determined once we determine keynote. What are the big announcements we're ready to share? What is MCB bringing to the stage this year? And then, as far as breakouts and theaters, it's really about aligning with the PMM groups, right? Our product marketers on their key messages for Team, and then finding customer voices, finding customer submissions that align with those business goals. And yeah, the number of customer speakers that all of these different folks have been able to bring together, I'm really excited for the lineup. There's quite a few sessions I hope to make it to and kind of sneak out of the speaker ready room and catch a few live sessions myself. So,
well, there's 3 on the Tuesday in Ballroom B between noon and 5. Feel free to come hang out.
Yeah, and that's great. That's something we're trying too, is having these learning sessions on Tuesday, get people to team a little earlier. I mean, I know super fans like you guys you're going to be there anyway, trying to get in the building, but we want to, we tried hands-on learning in Barcelona, the most recent Team Europe, and they were hugely successful, hugely popular, but it took people out of the main agenda for 60 to 90 minutes when an attendee's attention is already pulled multiple directions. Yeah. So you'll also notice that, besides moving those to Tuesday, another thing that we've done is really limit the number of sessions happening in the expo while breakouts are happening. We're really trying to tell attendees, we either want you on the expo floor, catching a theater, at a booth, or in a session room. So there used to be a lot of overlap, and I think attendees felt like they were missing sessions that they wanted to catch all the time.
So you've mentioned theaters. What kind of movies can we expect?
I don't know this time around. Probably some F1, Atlassian Williams, F1 team footage, I would imagine. Lots of good Rovo content.
And will we get to drive the F1 car this time?
Not you. No.
Fine, Sajid then.
I just finished the Netflix documentary, and I was like, maybe somewhere they'll show MCB or some Atlassian. Like, they had the logo plastered everywhere on the Williams, but no, right. Okay. We'll just say James Walls is also an Atlassian. That's okay. Okay, 2 more questions, Alison. One I'll ask first, which is, what's up with the 4:30 bash? What's happening there? Everybody thought that it was a typo first. I'll tell you what. On Slack channels, everybody thought it was a typo. Then somebody from Atlassian said, nope, it's at 4:30. Like, okay. Some of us are happy. We'll go to bed by 7 or something like that.
I'm happy.
It's a big change.
It is a big change. Yeah, I did hear that there was confusion and that champions thought it was potentially a typo. We're going to see how it works. I wasn't involved in the decision making, but I'm really excited for Bash to be outdoors. It's,
is it outdoors?
Yes, they say when you come out of your sessions, it is going to be transformed into, kind of an Electric Avenue themed experience where there's something for everyone. It is different, right? Different than heading back to your hotel, changing, but we all know just because the Atlassian part of the party stops at 7:30 doesn't mean that everyone who's so thrilled to be together, will stop. But yeah, we're gonna see. I'm excited to see this kind of new iteration of Bash and see what it brings.
And I've heard there's roller skates.
I've heard rumors. I cannot confirm nor deny, but I do think if that's something you're skilled at, if there is a roller rink, you will not catch me there.
Me neither.
I've also heard rumors that there might be a theater of some kind. So you might actually be able to watch a movie. We'll see.
Nice rumors. One thing I definitely would say is what it does is get more people to Bash. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people who leave after the event because they don't want to stay till 11 or 11:30. They probably would catch an early flight on the same day. People like me have to save an extra day because otherwise jet lag. But I'm excited. We'll see how it goes.
And we have to mention that you're the opening act to Bash.
Oh, yes.
Sajid is back with Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin Part 2. We've got him in the same room that solution keynotes are happening in throughout the week. And I'm excited.
It's very promising. I'm very happy that Atlassian has given me this amount of room, because last time there was a fire hazard thing and people couldn't get into my room. I was really dude, can you get me? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. But we got a big room. I'm very
That's the
excited.
thing. Yeah, with
I'm
you
gonna call
and
myself, as the opening act. I'm like, Are You Smarter Than a Jira Admin and head to Bash.
exactly some game show to warm everyone up, get everyone, sitting in sessions quietly all day, and then they can really start to let loose in your session.
Nice.
Maybe we'll have to think through, Sujit, how we're going to stage it all.
Yeah.
How do we make it a better transition into Bash?
Oh yeah. We can't just end with some senior Atlassian person giving away medals. It has to be like a dance off or something like that.
As long as I don't have to dance, no one wants to see that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'll hold off for the last question. Rob, anything that you want to ask Alison other than that?
I'm sure there's something in there. You go first. I'll see if anything falls out.
No. So my final question is something that, Alison, you can feel free to say no response or no comments to.
Sounds good.
Which is what you just said. So it's easier when you have to plan for a team if it's at the same location. What's happening with Team 26 EU? Is it still in Barcelona or it's going to be in a different city?
Team 26 Europe is not in Barcelona.
I need to cancel some hotel reservations.
Rob already bought it up.
Oh, he actually has reservations at the other possible locations as well.
I'm sure.
We,
like, who is this
we
Rob
heard some
guy?
rumors, but yep.
All throughout Europe.
How many major cities can I book hotels in that I can cancel the reservation with no fee?
Exactly. No, I'm
Perfect.
We are not going to be returning to the Fira. We may in the future, but going to try with a new location. I have been able to see the location myself, and I'm looking forward to that announcement and to welcoming people to a new city.
And I'm sure MCD or somebody would announce that during the keynote, somewhere around that, right?
Yes, I imagine so. Yeah.
That's usually where they share where it is. I'm looking forward to it because that's like Team is my vacation. Like I'm self-employed. I do this kind of stuff professionally, but I end up working more and I get more exhausted at Team. And going down to Anaheim isn't bad. It's fun, but getting to go across the pond to anywhere is like, ooh, exciting. I get a trip.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that should be fun because Barcelona, again, like I think, so that was my first team ever, 2018 team.
Wow.
Europe. Yeah. Back in the day when I was a data center customer.
How old are you, Sujit?
we were at Publicis Sapient and we were a data center customer, and I was a Jira trainer for the entire of, oh my goodness, the amount of crazy things we had on our instance. We should have signed an NDA. That's what I would say. We didn't. Just glad to be on cloud. Okay, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Alison. We're not gonna say the rumors that we've also heard, but it's just good to know that's not gonna be in Barcelona. It'll be in a new city. So yeah, that's fun.
Yes. It'll be a new city.
Right.
It'll be a new city for Team 27 as well. I can share that with you. So we won't be making a
Rodney was just asking.
Oh, look, I beat them to it. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, can't share that news quite yet, but I can say we won't be returning back to the Anaheim Convention Center, at least for Team 27. So
nice.
Look out for where that'll be as well.
So I should cancel my 27 Anaheim hotel reservations.
I never thought we'd be able to talk about Team 27 even before reaching Team 26. But I'm glad that it's not at the same place.
Yeah, I mean, Atlassian is growing. I feel like it's grown so much even in my year and a half, almost 2 years being here. And it's, we're scaling. We're trying to come up with enterprise level pieces, even at the team planning level and content level, where the sooner you know where something's going to be and when it's going to happen, the more you can dig into that strategic planning right away.
Wow, that's awesome. And yeah, really looking forward to it. I mean, it means more work for you and your team, but I'm very thankful that you guys do this. You guys put this up.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you see Alison, say thank you to her when you see her, or any of her teams from the global events team. They put a lot of work in putting team and all these crazy experiences that we just go there for 2 days and have fun and come back in so many memories. That there are people who already, like, on 7th there will be a countdown starting for team 27, or at least team 26. So yeah, there
Yeah.
are crazy people who just sit there. Yeah, I'm not talking about you.
That's what I was going to do,
Not
though.
not just you. Let's how about
Okay.
that?
And I want to mention the event mobile app, the Team Events app, will be coming out on the 27th, available to attendees.
Nice.
And so, you'll be able to continue to add planned sessions to your schedule if you haven't already, and be able to look through, and it has maps of what you can expect at the ACC, plenty of resources. I think we're all moving so quickly on site that some of the best time to dive into the app is before you're on site, running into everyone you know and making new connections left and right. So that would be my recommendation, is to take a look at that before you head on site.
It does have good
I'm
wayfinding.
sure. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
The app it's called wayfinding. It'll tell you how to get to a booth or something. That saved me a lot of walking last time.
California, like at the ACC, everything's spread out so much. The wayfinding is very, very helpful.
One more question I just remembered, Alison, while you were talking this, because I think prior to this year, I had not seen the ability to fill out the room from just the people who are RSVPing to a session. That's new. Does that mean people who would reach there before on time, they would not be able to enter if they have not selected that session?
Yeah, great question. So the capacity controls, right? The reservation required, save a seat required is just for those learning sessions where, in order to, right, instead of a one-to-many delivery, we do have an instructor, but also additional facilitators in the room. And we want to make sure that there's not too many people to actually help through, a workshop or a lab. Really, so it's to preserve the quality of the content you're receiving. But yeah, we've, all of those learning sessions that are being offered on Tuesday are being offered more than once, and they have filled up quite a bit. But the guidance to people, if you have saved a seat in one of those sessions, if you don't want to attend, please release your seat so someone else can grab it, because they are really sought after. And then if you do intend to go, make sure you're there about 10 minutes before it begins, so you can get in the room and get your seat. Basically, if you've reserved a seat, your badge will scan green as you enter the room. And for anyone who wasn't able to reserve a seat, there will be a standby line, like a queue that people can stand in. And 5 minutes before the session start time, we'll let folks in from the standby line to fill any seats. Because we all know time on site also becomes kind of like a black hole. Yeah. You might have every intention of going somewhere, and you're in the middle of a really excellent conversation on the other end of the campus.
And the food opens up.
Exactly, or lunch is ready. Exactly. So, yeah, but that's for those more hands-on learning sessions in robo theaters.
Is there a secondary market for tickets?
Oh my God.
Taking that as a no. Okay.
No, you're a troublemaker. No secondary market.
The name of this is asking for trouble.
Yeah, true. I walked right into it, didn't I?
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us today, Alison. It was perfect. This is what we wanted to have. You heard it here, folks. First, Team 27 already in conversation, not in Anaheim. Yeah. So whatever nearby LA monuments you want to go check out, go check them out. Go check out the Griffith Observatory. That was the highlight of my trip last year.
Beautiful.
I got a chance to go there, see a show. I was so freaking tired. I slept by the end of it, and somebody woke me up. That was a different story. But it's so beautiful. And it was so cold. Take a jacket.
Yeah, it'll be sunny, but it can be cold still. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This will be my third team on site. And
nice.
Yeah, I always feel like we're doing it bigger and better. And I love connecting with folks I've met before and new Atlassians that I haven't met, new customers I haven't met. So I'm, I think for several weeks now, my colleagues and I have been feeling like, all right, let's just go. Let's just be there. We're ready. We're ready for team. And I'm sure you both feel the same way.
Nice. Yes, we do. Rob, any closing comments, questions?
No, just really appreciate your time, Alison, and looking forward to seeing you in 11 days and 6
Yeah.
hours or something.
Yeah, I'll see you both very soon. Thank you so much for having me and for, helping people on their road to team.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop that in the YouTube channel, YouTube comment section, or reach out to me, Rob, directly. If you want, we would recommend not reach out to Alison. You can go via us. We'll feel a little bit more important that we know Atlassians that you don't know. But that being said, we'll see you at Team if you're joining. Rob and I have a bunch of stuff happening at Team. Rob, maybe we should write them down and share that in the next episode. Yeah, we're doing a bunch of streams, right?
Let's definitely start sharing some stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta just think of everything I've done. Also, because we're on YouTube, if you like this, hit the little thumbs up right down there at the bottom. That lets us know you want more of this. We'll probably keep doing it either way, though, so you're stuck with us.
Thank you, Alison. Have a good week, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, see you both soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Every week, they look at the tech and business world and turn let's take this offline into an episode. Updates, reviews, and the occasional interviews. Sounds smart? It's not. We just said it with conviction. A lot of smart people already do this. But these guys have a lot of opinions and barely any filters, which maybe should concern you or not. They seem nice. Anyway, this series comes from people who probably shouldn't be doing more streams, or at the very least, should have left some of their thoughts in a Slack thread. Unread by everyone. And now, this is Rob and Sudge asking for trouble!